Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of the Pop Culture Jungle. Wow, that was a trip where we focus in on a single topic. Tonight we are talking about the Switch 2. We had the direct over the week, plus some more details that came out the following days, plus other issues. So we're going to discuss all that, look at all, and try to convince people like Mr. Jamie that he should buy one. No, seriously though, we are going to look at it. This is stuff that Justin, Jamie, Parker, Jordan, we all looked at. We're all curious at. We are going to look at it because it's cool. It's always fun to see new consoles.
See what things are changing.
If you know me, you know I'm a technology junkie.
No.
So I always end up buying the new stuff. I've got my current one of my current switches. I've got several current switches. And it will be interesting seeing and discussing the changes already in sizing that we know. And we'll go through all that because, Jamie, as you put it, all you've seen was like the pricing and the fact that it went ahead and it's no longer at this moment, no longer going to be for sale on orders as of Wednesday.
Yes, that's all I've seen.
Yeah. So as we get through it, we're going to watch the direct. Jamie's going to stop us along the way. I've seen it now twice because went back and re-looked at certain parts, and we'll go from there. And apparently, Jamie's enjoying soda. That was really loud. Okay. You'll have to let me know on audio also if we're good on your side.
Okay. I can hear it. Let me check. Audio's good.
Eventually, maybe we'll get to the point where we can actually do all this stuff live when they're going live, when they're doing this stuff live.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's just some of us would not need to have, big boy jobs. They are pushing this game. Like every treehouse they had all week long, like every other segment was Mario Kart.
But it does look beautiful.
Let's go.
So online will be up to 24 players.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a big field.
That's a big field. We are getting some new game modes with it, and this will kind of show it. I think they even discussed it, but one of our new game modes is actually still just the Grand Prix racing.
Okay.
But your next course race starts after you're done with your first, and you race through the track and into the track.
You race through tracks?
You race to the different tracks.
Race to them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Another one is Outlast, where it puts like 4 or 5 of the different race courses all together in one long line, and you're driving between all of them, and there's checkpoints along the way, and you can get knocked out because of that. There's some new race types that I'm like, this looks like a lot of fun. They did not need to show it over and over again, but it looks fun. So if you pick up a bag of food, your character will change its costume based on whatever food you ate. It's very, very random, but it looks like it's a very big world also.
Yeah, it looks... Honestly, can you pause it really quick?
Absolutely.
I feel like Mario Kart's needed something.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is what it needs, but that map you see right behind it looks phenomenal.
No, yeah. Yeah, because you see all the different roads and such?
Yeah.
There is free roam and such. You can drive all of this. Think
cool.
Forza. Forza, but Mario Kart.
That's what it feels like, and I've loved that about the new Forza Horizons.
Yes. So yeah, no, this is definitely needed, especially since on the first generation Switch, which is a weird way to say that. The only version of Mario Kart we got was 8 Deluxe, which was just brought over from the Wii U.
Yeah.
Like we've been dying for a new Mario Kart, and this looks so good.
And we've been waiting for this. I'm good with that wait.
Yes. Yeah, this is such a big improvement of Mario Kart that I am totally. This deserves a long, good wait for it.
I'll be honest. There's some kind of racing games are fun, but when it's just you, it's like, oh, this isn't as fun just racing against computers. If they do the open world thing, which sounds like they are, that sounds like it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, so you're going to have open world, and then again, if you want to just jump online and do online matches, you can do online matches. Again, the Outlast, like I was talking about, they were I think one of them started up here in the mountains, and the last piece was like right down here. So you were racing the whole way through, the whole way down, doing knockout racing.
That sounds like so much fun.
Because I think you start at 24, then top 16 go on, top 12, top 8, and then top 4, I think it is. And so you're trying to just compete to keep right above that line at least in order not to go ahead and be knocked out and have to sit there and watch everybody else keep racing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Koichi Kawamoto, and I'll be one of your guides for today's Nintendo Direct. I'm the producer for Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm Takuhiro Dota, the director for Nintendo Switch 2. And I'm Tetsuya Sasaki, the hardware design lead for Nintendo Switch 2.
What you just saw was Mario Kart World, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2. Now, what do you think this brand new Mario Kart game will be like?
No longer are we getting
Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system.
So, like, unlike the last one where you got to select your tires or your gliders and all that, you are just selecting pre-built karts or bikes.
I like that. I
love that. Because that's always been one of the slowest part whenever you're setting up a race against anybody. Is everybody takes a long time to just decide on the little pieces of your kart. I'm like, come on now, hurry up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe.
I love how different
Depending
every
on the
area
time
looks
of
like
day
also.
And weather conditions,
yeah,
the atmosphere will change. And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world. In the Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
Can I just say online, this is going to be a nightmare. And I'm all for it.
Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another. There are multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line? You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam. By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you. You can also go for scenic drives with friends.
So they haven't said anything about this. I bet you, though, some of the like carts or whatnot to unlock, you're going to have to find in the world.
I'm good with that.
For how much they're pushing like free roam, there's got to be a reason to actually do free roam.
Yeah.
And even take photos together at different locations. race across the entire world starts here. Mario Kart World! The game launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. More.
I also hope that we are able to set up either our own Grand Prix race or whatnot. So if we wanted to set up one race that's legitimately every track in one long run, we could.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun.
Details about this title will be shared in an upcoming Mario Kart World Direct. So be on the lookout for more information in the future.
Mario Kart World launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. We'll share more details in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it.
Next, we'd like to introduce some of the new features of Nintendo Switch 2. These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2. And on the right Joy-Con 2, we've added a new C button. Let's take a look at some new experiences it offers.
New button.
The new buttons already caused some more drama also. And I'll get into it when we learn about the feature.
Okay.
Okay. Which will be in a second, apparently.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys. Woo! That was me. That was you. So quick. Oh no!
Can you pause it really quick?
Wait, no.
So if you go back like half a second, I love how you can see who's talking by what character they are.
Yes.
At least that's what it looks like.
That is what it is at this moment, yes.
Because
now
that's one thing. Sometimes it's hard. It's like who's who,
so
you know who you're targeting or attacking or defending against.
Now that we've gotten this far, I can already explain. As people pointed out, in order for you, and it does put it at the bottom, in order for you to use the chat and such built into the system, you have to have Xbox. You have not Xbox, but Nintendo Online.
Okay.
Obviously, you have to connect to the internet. However, that also means if you don't have Nintendo Online after the trial period, which is a year, they're giving you a year to try it. But after the trial period, it means that C button will do nothing if you don't have online. So it is a button to either chat or do nothing with. So everybody's now starting to call it the credit card button. Yeah, like that one, I can't even go ahead and blame people for that one. Nintendo set themselves up for.
They kind of did.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, no.
Nix, I'm coming for you.
No, I'm about to get
Come on, no.
Oh.
Introducing Game Chat, a new feature for Nintendo Switch 2.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
The other joke is, as everybody put it, congrats, Nintendo. You've caught up with the original Xbox.
Wow.
Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
I mean, frankly enough, we'll probably still be using Discord, but it's
While
cool that it's
using
now
the Game Chat feature, your
ability.
voice is recognized by a microphone built into.
Or like if it was you, me, and Bailey, and we all were playing like Fortnite on the Switch, Bailey wouldn't have to worry about a microphone or whatnot or Switch Discord.
Yeah.
So there is benefits.
The system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay. So,
It can pick up your speaking
How
voice
good
clearly,
the audio
even
actually
from a
is, especially at that
distance.
distance,
jump on here.
that's what I'm questioning.
All right, let's keep going. Let's make a left right here. Let's make a
When it's
Supposedly,
noisy around you, your voice will still come through
voice
clearly,
isolation with voice
letting you chat
isolation
with ease.
is not always that great.
Okay, nice.
It does look beautiful. It's okay.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily
I think
chat
handheld
with
mode
friends
is going to be
and
the better
family.
way to use it.
Absolutely.
If you open the chat menu and turn on game screen sharing,
Good job, good job.
Okay,
There
that's
we go,
cool.
there we go.
Yes. So Justin and I both agreed. We both like this. Now it is showing like once they start moving, you'll see it. Those screens are really at like 10 frames per second, which people are like, well, that's really like buggy, which you don't need to see in full speed what theirs is. But like if like you and I were sitting down playing Pokemon or whatnot, we can pull it up real quick, like, hey, look where I'm at or whatnot. There's reasons for it.
I wouldn't want to race with it on. Also,
what?
I wouldn't want to like race with it on.
Yeah, because once it starts
You
up,
can also share your game screen.
again,
Oh,
it's
wow.
kind
Did
of,
you see someone just
there's a
like, go on
lot
top of
going
another
on.
Really?
They can do that?
Can do it?
You guys, I just did it.
Oh, I want to do it too.
Oh shoot!
Oh, he's trying to eat me.
Okay, I got it.
Oh no!
I can't even like watch all of them at once. There's too much.
Yeah.
You can chat to your heart's content, even while playing different games.
Yeah, I know
Again,
that one.
congrats,
So
you've
hard,
learned what
right?
Xbox Party Chat
Oh,
is.
wow.
Like,
I'm like in the sky right
They
here.
added screen sharing. That's about it.
they added
Okay,
screen
we got it.
sharing,
Wait a second.
which is what they're
Kirby,
supposed to do.
look, you're a star. That's so cute.
So cute.
You can adjust the size of your game screen.
Guys, I'm lost. Like,
Where'd you go?
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall.
That's helpful for sometimes if you're trying to help someone.
Like, if she gets past
Correct.
The wall.
this is where I have to do a little wall ride.
Okay.
Well, like again,
So
us doing-
everyone can watch
I
them play.
use Pokemon because I think that's the one I see us mostly using it for. That or like a Zelda game. And I look at Pokemon like, oh, hey, we're trying to show each other our party real fast. You screen share it, blow it up big, and you can look real quick through the party list.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know where you are. I think I know where you are. Wait. Okay, I think we have to try.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a picture here.
Okay, are you ready?
Smile.
Yay! Oh, yo, that's sick.
I like your pose, Meeks.
How many
On the
people do you
right
think
Joy-Con
actually
2
go ahead
controller,
and
there's an
take
additional
pictures
button.
in games?
With
Like
the
none.
seat button,
Okay.
you can pull up a
Unless
chat
the game's
menu.
asking you to take a picture for something, no one does.
Really?
Or you're messing with
Wait,
someone
actually,
else's
guys, I got a call coming right now, so I'll be right back, yeah? Okay. Sure.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more. And there's this. By connecting this camera to the system,
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yo.
So they made it streamer friendly.
How's everyone doing? Good?
you can appear
No,
on screen
because you can't stream
and
from the
video chat
console.
while playing a game.
It's just to do video chat. Or to play games like the PlayStation Eye on the PS2.
Here's how it looks with just the camera feed.
I'm way behind,
There you
guys.
go.
Like that makes more sense doing it that way and racing like that.
Please look forward to games
I like
which
it
use your
in
camera
Mario
feed
Party.
like this.
Oh, wow.
This is where I like
No,
it.
no, wait.
good.
Go
That
left,
looks
go
good.
left.
So like if
Left,
we're
left, left.
again playing, fucking around playing an online game of Mario Party, you can see, especially when you piss like
Using
still
game
somebody's off.
chat.
Like that's what I want to
Even
do. I
when
want
you're
to see you
apart,
angry.
you can
look
play
at me.
games and
That
hang
being
out
said, I
as if
probably
you were
would spend the money to
together
get
in
it.
the same
That
room.
I might, because I'm curious about it. However, if I do, there's a Piranha Plant with camera instead coming out, and to me that looks a lot more entertaining. On top of that, as it says at the top, USB-C is for a camera. It does not say the Nintendo camera, so everybody's now predicting any webcam will work on it, as long as it's USB-C. Which almost everything is USB-C now.
I just have to get a new webcam then.
But I've got a USB-C camera, so we'll let me test first before
absolutely
going that route.
Play together or compete in online
Again,
multiplayer
I'm
games.
not even like. I was more on board with the
Chat while
Kinect
playing
and
your
with the
personal
Xbox One than I am with the Nintendo camera.
Decide your own rules for a retro game competition. Or hold a sports competition between families. All together, anytime, anywhere. Game chat.
What did you think?
Yeah, so compatible USB camera required for video chat. So it does not specify just straightforward the Nintendo one, just it needs to be compatible, which makes sense.
Yeah.
What did you think? In developing Game Chat, our goal was for you to enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends, almost as if you're all playing together in the same place. The camera you saw in the trailer is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which will be available on the same day as Switch 2. A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat. However, since we'd like as many people as possible to experience Game Chat, it will be available without a membership for a limited time. We hope you'll try it out.
You don't even get a full year with
Additionally, Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch parental controls
It's enough time
and
that
different
people will have
settings
time
can be
to try
adjusted.
it.
For example, whether parental permission is always required when a child wants to use Game Chat to play with their friends.
We'd like to introduce another new experience you can share with family and friends. On Nintendo Switch, even if you just have one game, you can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend and play together. But on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game, with Game Share. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game.
That's cool. It's compatible again across the generations too, it looks like.
Yeah. So local play, you can do multiple. So I don't know. So maybe not online, but at least locally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Game Share, you can temporarily share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. Game Share also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier. Game Share can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch.
Again, it's one of
Game
those
Share
things we'll
support
see more
is
of them
also
as they
planned for
go
select
forward
games
on.
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, so we hope you'll look forward to it.
Up next, we'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
What?
Instead of having to slide it on, how it snaps.
So initially, I was very skeptical about it, but I think they discuss it here in a second. And it's a new magnetic system that it sounds more like it's electromagnetic system is what it is.
Okay.
Because as they put it, there you have a button to press that will disengage the electronic magnet, which would be electromagnetic system.
Yeah.
Please take a look.
Which makes me feel a lot more confident in it, because initially I was talking about how fast I was going to break.
Fair.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen. Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch. The system's thickness remains the same. With approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen. The screen supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles. The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR.
Now, that is a complaint people have had. This is not an OLED screen. However,
it's interesting that they went back from OLED.
That's where I was at also. However, at the launch event, people they've had both an OLED and the Switch 2 next to each other for people to go back and forth and test on like Tears of the Kingdom and such.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that the new HDR screen looks better than the OLED.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess if they're calibrating each of those monitors correctly, it probably is going to look good. It's not going to get as dark a blacks because it's not OLED, but maybe overall the picture feels better anyways.
Okay.
It'll be something I'll be curious to look at closer once we have one in hand.
Providing more contrast between light and dark areas of the images. The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system. Detach your controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
I like that that's bigger now.
Yes.
The SL and SR buttons are bigger
Finally.
for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally. The left and right sticks are now larger. Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse to play with compatible games.
I love the look of your face, like,
Joy-Con
why?
2 support mouse controls.
But yeah, why?
It's a valid question. It's Nintendo doing Nintendo. The one thing I have seen is there's a game we'll see later that looks actually kind of interesting. I don't know if it's good enough for whatever price it's going to come out at. We'll see. But for so the new Civilization is being ported over to this Switch 2.
Okay.
And they said that they are also bringing over full mouse support.
Okay.
So you will be able to use if you want on like your pant leg, you can use your Joy-Con as a mouse and pretty much do the entire game with one hand.
That'd be kind of nice.
I don't know how often anybody's going to use this gimmick after the launch event.
And unless there's a game like specifically that uses it.
Correct. And that's one of the games that we're going to see later is that it's using it. There's also some new mini games coming out to Mario Party that will use it. But again, that's very gimmicky in that case.
Let's look at the Switch, how you could like turn it and it would do stuff. Most games now don't even use that.
Nope.
By adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes. It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via game chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly.
Again, we'll see how well that actually works.
Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you.
Really quick. You can tell me it comes up later and we can find out then. Can you connect Bluetooth speakers to it?
They don't specify. With the current Switch, you can.
Okay, because I have a little bit older Switch and like I can't.
You weren't able to for a long time. They updated that. You should be able to now. So, like the last time I came up to your place, the time before that, when I brought my Switch with me, when Switch Sports came out.
Yes.
While I was on the plane and such, I had paired my Switch to my Apple AirPod Pros.
Okay.
So it is compatible, and I think that's going to help the 3D in that case better. What they're trying to say, they shouldn't have headphones on the screen. They're trying to say that the speakers themselves is programmed to do 3D audio.
Yeah.
But it is also better enhanced, and games are going to be better enhanced for 3D audio on the Switch 2, since the system's built for it now.
Okay.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand. You can move it freely, like this. In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well. It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
That's cool.
They say tabletop mode. To me, that's nicer for charging while in handheld mode.
Yeah.
I'd rather my cable come off the top than off the bottom while it's in my hands.
Yeah.
But yes, it is nice that both ports now can charge.
Yes.
Nintendo Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch, for storing your game downloads, save data, and more.
Now, that being said, there's a lot more games coming out this time around that need to be downloaded or installed to the hard drive or the SSD, or the not SSD, but the SD card.
Yes.
So I think that's why they had to do bigger, and that's part of what's brought the cost up. Is they're doing the higher speed storage at a bigger interval.
Okay.
Reading and writing data is also faster. Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games.
Which is nice.
HDR is also supported in TV mode.
So as I put at the very bottom of the screen, 4K is max 60 hertz, so 60 frames per second. 1080, or it doesn't specify for 1440, but at least 1080 is to get the whole 120.
Okay.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable. On Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
I'm curious what games aren't going to be supported.
So I actually was starting to pull that up for us to go through afterwards.
Okay.
But some of the compatibility issues is like games that require specific hardware for the on the Switch. So like Labo is not compatible just because it's bigger hardware now. Is this the one we want? Okay. Yes, this is, I think, the one we won from Nintendo. So we'll pull that up. Now, it doesn't state this in this presentation. However, your Switch 1 Joy-Cons are compatible. They just cannot charge off the console because they're not big enough.
Yeah.
Your almost everything from the Switch 1 is compatible to the Switch 2.
What do you mean?
All like accessories and such, pretty much all that stuff.
Okay.
But again, like the charging docks that are currently out, they cannot charge the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, but it's a size compatibility issue.
Yeah.
There is a new charger dock coming out because they've changed how they're hooked up and such, which to me is fine. Like I get that. I appreciate Nintendo letting us use old hardware. It means all my old, since I have a full set of Pro controllers, all 4 of those are compatible.
I'm actually really excited because I do have one of the more like console controllers, and I'm glad I don't have to go get another one.
No, exactly. Like the Pro controllers, I don't want to spend another $80 on it. We will see that here in a second, the new version of it. The new one has the C button, so you're going to miss out on that on your controller.
Oh, no.
And it has now also a 3.5 millimeter jack at the bottom for you to be able to plug up headphones, which is nice. That is a nice improvement.
As you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch. We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features. And to help players better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game.
Note about this game, and this makes me mad. This is why I had to stop us. Okay, you remember back on the Wii, their entire tech demo for the console was this little game that was packed into the box called Wii Sports.
Yeah.
One of the best selling games and most loved games from the console.
Yeah.
This tech demo for the Switch 2 is a paid game. You have to go buy it if you want it. Now, mind you, I think they said it was. I think somebody said the launch event that it's $8. However, if it's only $8 included, it is straightforward. We're going to see it here in a second. It is straightforward, just a tech demo. There's no reason, and everybody's agreeing on this. There's no reason.
Mr. Kawamoto.
Hello. My current location is actually inside the game itself. This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. I'm standing over here. Okay, everyone, join me inside the game.
Did you ever play off Parker's PS5 Astrobot? Or no, you
No,
hung out with
I
us
played it
when we
off
did. What?
No, but I played it off yours.
Yeah. Nintendo saw Astrobot, decided to make their kind of version of it, but make people pay for it.
It's not gonna work.
It's no. I'm hoping
There are
this
a lot
changes
of question mark
between now
icons
and
here.
then.
Let's examine them. This sign reads, "Where are the magnets?" The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach to the system with magnets. And those magnets are inside the system. The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal.
Like, this makes me
So
think
that's how they
like
attach to the
guides
system.
that used to come in the boxes of like how your
A
console works,
magnetic
where
circuit
everything
is
is,
formed between them, so
except
they
for the
won't easily
interactive one
detach.
of it.
Yeah. Honestly,
you
it's
have to pay
making me
for
feel like I'm like 6 and they're trying to explain to me how
Through
it works.
examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have mouse controls. And when combined with the gyroscopes, you can even do something like this. You can adjust the position of the golf club and aim for the cup by rotating the Joy-Con 2. By combining the mouse controls and gyroscopes, things like this are possible. There are secrets to discover even as you're playing minigames and tech demos. Some of the secrets range from the unique features of the system to tiny details you might not notice until they're pointed out. There are plenty. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. So please check it out if you're interested.
That is so
Now,
irritating.
I'd like to share some more information regarding Nintendo Switch 2. This is the game card for Nintendo Switch 2 titles. It's the same shape as Nintendo Switch game cards, but it's now red and it has much faster data reading speeds.
I'm glad they made it a different
Next
color.
up is additional storage. Switch 2 will only work with micro SD express cards. They're a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible. Please note that regular micro SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible. Additionally, to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your Nintendo account to use the System Transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data, digital games, and more. We're also releasing a new Pro Controller. It has a C button, which launches Game Chat, and on the back, there are new GL and GR buttons, which you can use to assign existing button controls. In addition, an audio jack has been added. We've introduced a few new features, and after today's presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website will go live. There will also be an Ask the Developer article on the website, where the three of us will talk about the development of Nintendo Switch 2. We hope you'll check that out as well.
And now, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date. Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. We're very much looking forward to the day when you all get to experience it, so please wait just a bit longer.
Now, broadly speaking, on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play 3 types of games. The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games. These games take advantage of the performance and features of Switch 2. The second type is compatible games that were released on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games are the third type. Some games that were released on Switch will receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more.
Justin looked it up as a free upgrade because there are different versions of the upgrades. One of the free upgrade ones is for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So the game may actually run the way it's supposed to run.
What does it do wrong now?
The frame rate is atrocious, and it really struggles. And anytime something is happening on the main part of the screen, it freezes everything else.
Of course.
So there is a free update coming to that, which is nice.
Okay.
Now, I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree.
This is a paid
Please
update.
take a look.
Super Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2. The upgrade expands on the base game and adds new features, including mouse controls,
So it's a DLC.
This is a DLC.
audio recognition,
In cases like this, since this is adding new gameplay features or gameplay pieces and new mini games, this is okay for, in my opinion, to charge for. This is a DLC. This is an upgrade kit.
and more expressive rumble, and gameplay that uses a camera accessory, all of which can be accessed on Switch 2. Let's check out 3 new and updated modes. First up is Mario Party mode. With a single camera, up to 4 players can join the festivities. You'll be able to see each other's faces as you play, so you can experience all the reactions and emotions in real time. Or 4 friends can take the party online. Up next, it's
That way, if we're playing, Jordan can send you all the lewd gestures and such whenever you do anything to him.
Exactly.
That's straightforward. That is the only thing we would use the camera for if the 4 of us were playing games.
It's true.
Bowser Live, a mode where the livelier team wins. Bowser will bring you on stage to hit blocks to collect the most coins.
It's the
Guide an RC
PlayStation
car with your
icon
voice.
from PS2.
It looks like a
And
gimmick.
compete in other
is a
mini games
gimmick.
using full body movement and sound. Finally, take a ride on the mouse-controlled carnival coaster. With the safety bar lowered and secured, you're off. Go! Use mouse controls to shoot down enemies while you feel the bumps and rumbles of the coaster.
It's a gimmick to make you use the mouse controls.
Yeah.
When you enter a pipe, a mini game will begin. There's a bouldering game where 2 players each control an arm, and one where you shake a can of spray paint and quickly tag objects. Enjoy the thrill of these intuitive mini games. How quickly can you reach the station? From mini games that use a camera, the built-in microphone, mouse controls, and rumble, the biggest party yet is getting even bigger. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Jamboree TV launches on Nintendo Switch 2, July 24th. Nintendo Switch 2 players who already own Super Mario Party Jamboree can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV by purchasing an upgrade pack.
So I really like that. That if you have the game, you can still use the game. You just, if you want to get these features, you can just get the upgrade pack. It's a DLC.
Yeah.
I like that.
The problem at this moment, we don't have a price for it.
Yes.
What I'm hearing from people who were at the launch event, they were kind of hearing everybody was talking like $10 to $20, which I'm okay with. $10 to $20 for an upgrade is fine.
It's $20 for a DLC. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Exactly.
Please look forward to a new Mario Party experience, where you can see each other's reactions while playing. Let's continue presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games.
These, because we have online...
Nintendo Switch
are
2
free
editions
updates.
of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom
So, if you don't have online, it is a paid update. If you have online, it's free.
feature enhanced resolution and frame rates, and also support HDR, which makes the image more vibrant.
Which I like because I have Tears of the Kingdom, and I barely started it. So at this point, I'm not even touching the game. I'm just going to wait for the update and then play it on the new console because the load times are
really funny. The first game, I never finished.
Really?
So I beat all the other, like the 4 bosses you have to get to the point, and I just never did the main boss fight at the end.
You gotta go beat him.
Now I don't remember how to play the game is the problem.
That's totally fair because it's been a long time since I played. No, I really like.
Oh, I was gonna say I did like
Zelda.
a bunch of the open. I did a bunch of the open world stuff and all these random.
I really liked Breath of the Wild, and so I bought Tears of the Kingdom when it came out. Well, again, Tears of the Kingdom Switch, which did not come with the game. Because the limited edition console did not come with the game. That was irritating. But
that is irritating.
I mean, I bought the game. I played through the tutorial, and then I stopped. Now at this point, I'm not going to pick it up until Switch 2 comes out. And I'll go play it on HDR. And frankly enough, because I don't necessarily care about 120 frames per second and older in Legend of Zelda, I'll probably play it in 4K mode and enjoy the pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures.
However, we're going to see here in a minute a really stupid feature that comes with the new Switch 2 version.
I'm excited.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it after, and you're gonna go, really?
So you can play with smoother, higher definition graphics.
Why'd you all of a sudden drop? Mega.
Plus, you can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes. This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices.
They have an app?
It's a game-specific service that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these titles. For example, it can help guide you to various locations, like shrines and Koroks you haven't found yet.
Guidance activating. Proceed north.
Your phone gets to be a GPS unit for your game.
Or you can share your creations using QR codes and send them to another player to create in their
This one is a bit more okay, in my opinion.
That's cool.
Yeah. The whole GPS gimmick, I'm like, why?
Isn't there a map in game?
Yeah.
We hope these features will make your adventures even more enjoyable.
That's the whole mobile app experience. You can send a QR code and a GPS.
In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you'll be able to enjoy an additional story exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
So this is again a
graphics and frame rates.
Paid update. But again,
it's a DLC.
You're adding extra parts of the world.
This story takes place in the Forgotten Land after being struck by a powerful meteor that's causing some mysterious changes.
Let me just say, I'll be right back.
I hope you're looking forward to Kirby's new adventure. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will have both a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. In addition to standard controls, you can use mouse controls for intuitive gameplay on Switch 2. Plus, you can explore the immersive world in 4K at 60 frames per second, or enjoy smoother action in full HD at 120 frames per second. Choose from these two modes, both of which support HDR, based on your preference and playstyle.
So one thing kind of cool about this that they were showing, in real time, you can switch back and forth between mouse controls or joystick control.
Interesting. That also seems kind of challenging to do.
It would, but like if you, let's say you're getting into a battle where you want to be a little bit more precise with your shots, you could just, I got a Joy-Con right here. You legitimately can just take your Joy-Con from where you're playing and just turn it and put it on, and it immediately understands that it's a mouse. And you can just start using it as a mouse. That's actually kind of cool.
Because right now it's hard if you want to do something like that.
Yeah, if you're trying to do like precision, that's a little bit tougher. But if it's going to let you jump straight into that quickly, that's cool.
Yeah.
Plus, Pokemon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will not only receive a Nintendo Switch version, but a Nintendo Switch 2 edition as well. By taking advantage of the power of Switch 2, you can enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced resolution and frame rates.
And that's
The
all we get
Nintendo
to know.
Switch 2
We
edition
don't know what
games you
else the
just
Switch
saw
2 edition
will be
is.
available as both physical and digital versions. And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack. We hope you're looking forward to these Nintendo Switch 2 edition games.
Next, I'd like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controllers. Please take a look.
So this one I think looks kind of interesting. I just don't know what the price is going to be, so I don't know if it's worth the cost.
Fair. I love the straps.
Because, you know, you're going to accidentally throw your mouse across the room. Like, if this is a $20 game, I'd be down to buy it.
Again, it's very gimmicky.
It is a gimmicky game, and it's all online, so it better not be more than $20. You're going to have to need online membership to play it.
Yeah.
But to me, it looks like just kind of a fun, different kind of game style.
I like how you can wave and everything.
Straightforward. Your mice Joy-Con just representing what your hands are supposed to be doing. I think that's a cool idea. But we have no idea pricing or anything about it.
So really quick, before
In Drag and Drive,
something else I really like about it is it's bringing awareness to a different kind of sport.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this is a interesting concept. They're gonna kill themselves with it if they charge $60. At $60, this game will not sell.
No.
It is too more bare bone, and again, it requires Switch Online or Nintendo Online. It's got to come in at like that $20 point.
Yeah.
We'll use both Joy-Con 2 controllers as mice to intuitively pull off various moves. We hope you're looking forward to a new twist on 3-on-3 matches using dual mouse controls. Next, here are some games from our publishing and development partners coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Lots of third-party support this time, which is fantastic.
I have long observed the lands between. This world is in dire need of repair. You can see them, can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden. I have no doubt you will become Elden Lord. May you take the throne.
It's Elden Ring.
Hey, I'm Greg Kasavin from Supergiant Games, here to say that Hades 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Our first ever sequel introduces the Princess of the Dead, an immortal witch out to vanquish the sinister Titan of Time.
According to Justin, Hades 1 was
battle
very good.
beyond the underworld to the ends of the earth, getting to know dozens of characters from Greek myth in a story that reacts to your every setback and victory. It's the kind of game you can quickly pick up and play whether you're experienced with the original or not. Look for more about Hades 2 later this year.
It looks cool.
皆さんこんにちは。カプコンの中山です。我々がお届けするタイトルはストリートファイター6です。
Street Fighter 6。
本体を持ち寄っての対戦はもちろん、任天堂スイッチ2だけの新モードもあります。ソフトは通常版の他に総勢26キャラクターを収録した Years 1、2、ファイターズエディションの2バージョン。さらにゲームと連動するアミーボとアミーボカードも一緒にスイッチ2の発売日にお届けします。お楽しみに。
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels. Testing data link with spine. Normal. Commencing launch.
I forget which one this one is.
After 2 long wars where our freedom was restricted, we will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale, and you're buying.
This one looks cool, though.
Interesting concept.
Thanks for the warm welcome!
This planet will be ours. The sovereign axiom, the Trinitas, has almost completed a weapon that was created to destroy all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you. I'll tear you apart! All children bring hope to our lives, don't they?
Hey, this is Joseph Forrest from Hazelight. I'm super excited for Split Fiction to come to Nintendo Switch 2. The game is a story about friendship. You play as Mio, who writes sci-fi, and Zoe, who writes fantasy. Together, they get trapped in their own stories, and it's up to you and a friend to help them break free.
Because it's out currently.
Let me tell you this, if you like It Takes Two, you're gonna love this one, trust me. And of course...
One of the cool things with...
Go ahead.
One of the cool things with this company, like It Takes Two, since it requires 2 different systems to play it, you only need to buy one copy, and the other person can play it for free.
That's cool because it looks really cool. I like the concept of you have to play with someone.
Yeah.
You'll be able to play Split Fiction on the day Switch 2 launches.
At EA Sports, we're bringing fans together across the world, both on the pitch and on the gridiron. We're excited to announce that EA Sports FC will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Madden NFL will also be arriving on the Nintendo platform. EA Sports, it's in the game.
I don't know who still plays.
Hi, I'm Alan Chu from Avalanche Software. We are bringing Hogwarts Legacy to Nintendo Switch 2. With enhanced graphics and seamless world transitions, you'll be immersed in the Wizarding world like never before.
Still
the
never
new mouse
beat this
controls on Switch 2 give you even more ways to experience the adventure. Discover the
It's a good
enhanced
game.
magic when Hogwarts Legacy
It
launches
was
on
good.
the same day as
And then there
Switch
was
2.
so many giant spiders.
Wasn't there a spider safe mode?
What?
Wasn't there a way to turn off the spiders?
I think eventually there was. This, I'm actually kind of happy about that. The next 2 Tony Hawk Pro Skaters are coming back out, but I think it's only on the Switch 2. So, like, I'm all for it. I will buy this. You tell me a price, I'm down. But the Pro Skater series was like my childhood.
Fair. Interesting.
Yep.
Hello, this is Christian Elberdam from IO Interactive. We are bringing our flagship title, Hitman World of Assassination, to Nintendo Switch 2.
This I was surprised by. Like, there is
As the
mature
best
level
assassin
games
in the
coming to
trade,
Switch 2.
Agent 47 does
They really
everything he
are.
can to accomplish his mission. And how each mission progresses will vary depending on the player's imagination. Our ever-expanding game will release on the same day as Switch 2. Plus,
On top of that, a lot of these are dropping with the system because a lot of these are just ports and such. But that's going to bring such a impressive day one to the Switch.
Yes.
Especially when we look at the day one for the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series consoles. Like, those really didn't have anything special or exclusive or new to them.
There are a lot of ports.
They were a lot of ports, where this is a lot of ports, but these are new ports for Nintendo players.
Yes. Or if you only have a
we are
Switch.
excited to bring another familiar agent
Yeah. If you only had a Switch, a lot of these games are going to be brand new to you that you've never even gotten a chance to try.
Yeah.
to the platform.
I'm so mad this is all we get to see of this. You're going to recognize it by the music. That's it.
James Bond. The world's favorite spy is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
They sure know how to get our attention.
Show more.
The story of light and shadow that
This
never
is
fades is reborn.
Which gives me confidence that we might actually get more
remastered in high definition.
More like Kingdom Hearts
the breaking default commands that help you control the flow of turn-based battles. Change and customize jobs to build out your very own party. Enjoy your adventure with upgraded features and enhancements. And all new minigames with unique ways to play. Square Enix presents the classic fantasy RPG, Bravely Default Fine Fairy HD Remaster. Set foot in Luxembourg as a warrior of light once more.
There's that.
セガ龍が如くスタジオ代表の横山です。
There's another announcement from Square Enix later.
我々がお送りするタイトルは龍が如くゼロ誓いの場所ディレクターズカットです。1988年東京と大阪2つの歓楽街を舞台に土地を巡る争奪戦が勃発。
I've never been interested in the Yakuza series, even as a kid.
Same.
発売日は Nintendo Switch 2の発売と同じ。今後のシリーズ
I'm just
展
at
開にも
a lot of these ones I'm questioning. Are we watching an actual Switch 2
We'll have
demonstration
more
of it,
games to show
or
from our publishing and development
a PC
partners.
or
But for
console?
now, we'd like to show a game being developed in collaboration with Nintendo. Please take a look.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface, their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
It's Hyrule Warriors.
A war was fought to
2.
vanquish this evil. One
If you're
which
into the
future
Warriors
generations
series,
would call
you love it. If you're not, you won't.
the imprisoning war.
Perhaps you truly have traveled back in time.
It makes me question if there's actual canon lore for the main series, though.
So that's Hyrule Castle? Then that must mean this really is the past.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Like I said, it's the Warriors game, so hack and slash, big bosses, big fights, go around and destroy things. I played a couple in the past. They never hold my attention long enough for me to decide to pay a bunch for them. I always have to buy them on like Trio and discount. So
That's fair. And again, I forgot the combat systems. I haven't played it in so long. So
well, the Warriors is not even the regular combat system of the Zelda games.
I'm sorry, that's frustrating to me.
That was Hyrule Warriors Age of Empires.
It's because the Warriors games are their own franchise.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Hyrule Warriors is just a skin onto a Warriors game, so it's its own ordeal because they didn't start doing the Hyrule ones until like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Imprisonment. It's being developed by Koei Tecmo Games with support from Nintendo. We hope you're looking forward to the untold story of the Imprisoning War, which took place in Hyrule long ago.
And now, some news about Nintendo Switch Online. You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online on Switch 2. And with Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, you can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2. Please take a look at this.
I heard about this.
Nintendo Switch Online
so
Plus
excited.
Expansion Pack will be getting a new classic game library exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo GameCube, originally released
I spent a
in
lot of time
2001.
playing
Here are the
classic
titles that
games
will be
on the
available at
Switch.
launch. A Legend of Zelda game that looks like a cartoon come to life through cell shading. Controlling the wind using a mysterious baton, Link sets sail on an adventure across the Great Sea. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords eternally retold. In this 3D, weapons-based fighting game, each fighter comes equipped with a different weapon, and Link from the Legend of Zelda series enters the fray.
I'm so surprised Soul Calibur is
2.
coming back.
Experience a world of white-knuckle racing at speeds
F-Zero.
over 2,000 kilometers per hour.
I'm so glad they're
30
bringing back a
machines
lot of
will
their
put
old
it all on the
games.
line in death-defying races.
And they're like basically porting them
Featuring
over.
the
They put them
series first,
online.
machine
Yeah, you do need to pay the
customization and
online
story
membership,
mode.
but
Get ready to experience F-Zero
it's been so much fun that they brought those back.
In games that support multiplayer, up to
I
4
was
can
just
play
like
together
all the
locally
Pokemon games back.
or
Those
online.
would sell so much.
Well, but this is
Enjoy these classic games with clearer image.
this is what I like about this port of them over is all the multiplayer games. Again, you can play either locally or you can play them online,
Yes.
which is huge. Like for us to be able to jump onto like if we want a F-Zero match, just because we felt like it cool, we don't have to worry about the fact that we're in different states.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Makes me so
Yes,
happy.
it is. Enjoy these classic games with clearer image quality and higher resolution than the original releases. You can also check the controls for each title and customize them to your liking.
Nice.
More titles will be added in the future. Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics,
stoked that they add
the
Pokemon
Switch 2
Coliseum.
exclusive game library coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus.
I'm so stoked that they add Pokemon Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, they're gonna say that they're coming out with a new GameCube controller. There's already one out by I think it's a third party, but it still feels fantastic. I'm so happy that
Plus expansion
these
pack
are
launches
items.
the same day
Like
as
we
the
can go back
hardware's
and play
release.
GameCube games on a GameCube controller. That's fantastic.
And
yes,
you
dedicated
don't have to try to hunt down because I still have yet to find one of the N64 controllers for the Switch. The only place I've been able to find them is like ordering them from Nintendo, but I don't want to order it from Nintendo. I want to go buy it.
controller designed after the original GameCube controller will also be released. It can connect wirelessly and also has a C button to quickly access
I like
game
the
chat.
fact they're making it wireless and USB-C.
So mine, I have to think about it. I saw it earlier. I don't believe mine charges. I believe mine is AA, but it is wireless because it's kind of first party. It's partnered first party because it came out for Smash Brothers, and so it has Toad on it because it's supposed to be for Smash Brothers, but it works for any game.
Yeah.
The Nintendo GameCube controller, exclusively available for Nintendo Switch Online members, will also be available the same day as Nintendo Switch
You have
2.
to be an online member to get it.
Which I kind of like because that was the problem with the N64 ones, was the modding community and such all went ahead and grabbed them.
Okay.
So I like that they are being a little bit limiting on it. However, I feel it should not be limited for a long period.
Fair.
Because again, you can still use it as a controller for your Switch. If you prefer that controller style, you should have the right to go buy it.
Yes.
Whether you're familiar with the games or haven't played them before, we hope you're looking forward to Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics. Of course, you can continue to play select games from the systems shown here on Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, let's see some more games from our publishing and development partners.
This is kind of big news that the next 2 chapters of Deltarune are coming out. I've yet to play Deltarune, so I'll probably play it on the Switch too. In fact, I might stream it. We streamed way back when, I believe, on this channel. Maybe it's the old channel. Undertale, which is the prequel to this.
Okay.
They're
Interesting
fun.
concept.
At least in Undertale, I'm sure probably the same in this. There's 3 different ways to win the game. Either a pacifist way, a aggressive way, or a more neutral way.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Randy from Gearbox. Borderlands 4, our upcoming flagship Borderlands game, will launch on Nintendo Switch 2.
That's big news.
Borderlands is back.
Mhm.
Loot and shoot your way through a world filled with
I wish I
wild
liked
enemies
Borderlands.
and outrageous weapons. We're still in development, and it's already the most ambitious Borderlands game we've ever made. Borderlands 4 will launch in 2025. We'll be sharing a lot of the game in the months ahead, and there's more from 2K on the way.
Hi, I'm Dennis Shirk from Firaxis Games. We're releasing a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Sid Meier's Civilization 7. In Civ 7, you'll establish an empire and guide your people throughout the ages of history. With the new mouse controls, players can enjoy a more intuitive gameplay experience. Civ 7 launches on the same day as Switch 2.
Like,
And if
this is
you
a
already
game
own the Nintendo Switch
I
version,
actually agree with
you can
mouse
experience mouse controls on Switch
Yes.
2 by purchasing the upgrade. And we have even more news from 2K.
Hi, I'm Lionel Jinks.
And I'm Ben Bishop.
Our final announcement for today is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
We can't wait to see you in the ring.
And on the court.
4 kids find this old tattered man. Off they went armed with nothing but youthful enthusiasm and a profound lack of preparation. Boom! Terrible at steering a raft. Let's slay some trees. Awesome!
This looks like a stupid game we would play.
Hook, line, and
Oh,
sinker.
absolutely.
Tastes amazing, doesn't it? Really have started to master this survival thing. Next stop, the top. Ha! Nicely done. Well, I think that's everything. Let's set sail. This time, for home.
Hi, I'm Dave Crooks from Dodge Roll. Here's the first look at Enter the Gungeon 2. Dodge countless bullets and aim for the Gungeon's depths in our roguelike shooter sequel. Now reloaded in a new 3D art style.
I have
Expect
no
some
idea what in the
fan-favorite
world this
elements
even
to return.
series is.
That makes me
We're still
feel
working
better.
on the game. We're
Okay.
excited to share more with you in the future.
I was just gonna say, it looks like you can be Buzz Lightyear in Star Command.
Pretty much.
Hello, my name is Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red. We are
Cyberpunk
delighted to
is
bring
coming
the
to
immersive
Switch 2.
world of the dark future to Nintendo
It
players
actually
for
looks
the
like it's
first
working.
time. Cyberpunk
Fascinating.
2077 is an open-world action-adventure RPG set in Night City. Thanks to Nintendo Switch 2, you can transport yourself to the city of dreams at home or on the go. Get ready to meet unforgettable characters and discover engaging stories when Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day.
こんにちは。スクエアエニックスの浜口です。任天堂スイッチ2でファイナルファンタジー7リメイク インターグレードを
Final
発
Fantasy
売いたします。
VII Remake。
本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7 を体験いただきます。スイッチ2で展開する FF7 リメイクシリ
This I
ー
might
ズ
be spending some
に
money
ぜひ
in
ご期待ください。
I've tried to get into the Final Fantasy series, but I can sit down and actually just focus on it.
Yeah. It looks like they're gonna have a lot.
Yeah, because now we're just kind of running through more just quick announcements.
And some of the older ones too.
I didn't realize 2 Point Museum was on this list.
Pause it really quick. What's 2 Point Museum?
The 2 Point games is the one I played. Well, I'm waiting for a good shot. Is 2 Point University. So it's a top down like simulator creator kind of game, kind of thing, maybe like Sims but not Sims.
Okay.
So you are in charge of, in like 2 Point University, you're in charge of a university, so you're trying to optimize your money and your happiness in order to keep growing and growing and growing. Apparently their museum, which I think is the next one coming out, I don't even think it's out yet.
Okay.
Is coming straight to it. 2 Point Museum. 2 Point Museum. Okay, so Museum is out because there's already an upgrade to it, because they do a lot of upgrades also on
Upgrades?
DLC.
Okay.
I mean the original price of Museum is $30, and that's normally where the pricing comes in at. If that's going to be the Switch prices, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm so stoked about that. That is definitely
That actually looks really cool. Like, I work in a museum. I have fun with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, I'm trying to get. So like you start with the building itself, but there's nothing in it. So this is going through and designing each of the rooms of it and figuring out your placement of every little piece of the items or the bathrooms and all that. Like, to me, they're fun. Those are the kind of games I love.
It looks like fun.
And this is a game mouse control would be amazing with.
Yes.
Cool Power Tetris! US! I love Cool Power Tetris. That's my problem. There's so many games that are looking like coming out on day one. I don't understand why this is coming out on it. This game tanked on everything else. Why they think porting it to the Switch is going to help, I don't know.
Because logic.
Yeah. But no, Puyo Puyo, now the 2 Point Museum, Mario Kart. Like, how am I going to play all my games?
That
is a
question.
horrible problem to have.
I guess you're probably in sick for like a week.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, it was.
Fortnite. Which is fine. I'll download that on day one. And, Professor Layton going over to it. Okay. It's been a long time since I played a Professor Layton game.
Good music choices.
We've shown a lot of games.
Good music choices.
Yeah.
So far. The next game will be the last from our publishing and development partners. Please take a look.
That just looks so creepy.
I believe this is a horror game, if I remember
No
right.
thanks.
The next one is the
My
next one is the
blood.
final game, and that next one's important.
I give you my life.
No, well, it's kind of a horror game, but not. It's not really a
Real.
horror game. This is Devil May Cry.
And transport him
Okay.
Fantastic game series.
to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
You get to play a vampire that hunts bad people.
Interesting.
And demons and
Red guys.
Yeah, from software. I always think it's funny what their company is.
They picked a good name.
Right?
Snack time.
Yep.
That's a big frog.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon.
My problem is also trying to decide how much of the console am I buying physical and how much am I buying.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
I feel like with Switch, I prefer digital.
I prefer digital. It's easier to travel with.
Travel with it's easier to switch games, especially on a platform that's designed to travel.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
The moon tears will flow for one, and one alone.
Oh, I thought this was Devil May Cry. Duskblood. It's still a vampire killing game.
Mm-hmm.
Still looks fun. Still not your play style, but
No, not. Definitely not.
At least that one I have plenty of time.
What you just saw was a brand new game by From Software. We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, will share more details about the game, so please check it out when it's available. That's all from our publishing and development partners. We'd like to thank the developers who appeared today, as well as our publishing and development partners who prepared footage for this presentation.
I will say this, for this being the console presentation to announce the console and all that, they've spent on this hour like 10 minutes on the actual console. The rest of the time is just talking about all the games coming to it.
Yes.
That's impressive.
They're so polite.
Absolutely.
In addition to what you saw today, our partners are working on many games.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Nintendo, though, is like all their press conferences. Anytime they do anything, I mean, it is the Japanese culture, but they're super over polite about everything, which is fantastic.
I love it.
Okay. We're almost there.
It's coming to Nintendo Switch 2. We'll showcase more games in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it. Next, please take a look at this.
Oh, this is Kirby. There's one more after this.
Okay. Is it a new Kirby game or is it the same one?
This is a new Kirby game.
Okay.
Which I'm all for. I love the Kirby series. I need to buy the last one.
You might as well wait.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to wait and just buy straightforward the Switch 2 edition. I think this game's coming out next year.
Kirby got some speed.
Kirby gets speed. And I also kind of want to see what exactly Air Riders is.
Yeah.
It's just a kart game. I don't necessarily want another kart game. I don't think it's going to be, though.
It's this year.
Okay.
Kirby Air Ride, which originally released on the Nintendo GameCube system over 20 years ago, is getting a brand new game. We hope you're looking forward to Kirby Air Riders, directed by Masahiro Sakurai. Next is our last trailer for today. Please take a look.
DK is getting his own new 3D platformer.
I think I heard there's going to be a Donkey Kong game.
I'm not sure what I think about this game.
Like, that's what I heard. Donkey Kong's getting a game. That's about it. It's a good one to put last, though.
Yes.
Why are you working in the mines with the tie, sir?
Because this DK can dig through walls, which is kind of cool. A lot of the terrain and such is actually fully breakable and such.
That is cool.
It's just, I'm not quite sure what I think of this. Nintendo's doing Nintendo things.
That sounds like Nintendo. Honestly, I would sit there and just destroy the entire world.
Yeah?
Level it.
Like, I think I want it. But do I want it because it's just a new DK game? Or do I want it because it looks good?
That's fair.
I'm not super crazy about the new face design, but I love how overly animated the new face design is.
Yes.
They're doing a great job showing so much emotion through just the way his eyes are now.
He's not the big bad guy anymore.
He wasn't in DK64 either.
Yes.
I just want another DK64.
I love the name.
Yes. Luckily, I have time to decide if I actually like this game or not.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey Kong, called Donkey Kong Bonanza. With incredible strength, smash through enemies, walls, the ground, and just about everything as you demolish your way through a massive underground world. More details will be shared in the future. We hope you're looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching so far.
To recap, Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be available at launch. We'll release Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World. For more details, please check the official Nintendo Switch 2 website, which goes live later today.
So as of this moment, the Nintendo Switch 2 on its own is $450.
Uh-huh.
The Nintendo Switch 2 with Mario Kart is $500.
And I'd go that way because the game I'd want.
Mario Kart on its own is a $80 game, so it is cheaper to go that way. Now, people are complaining, this is another complaint that's come up, that the Mario Kart version only comes with a download of it. What do you expect?
I'm happy. Again, with Switch, I prefer digital games.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of information, but that's all we have to share for today.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch. We are very much looking forward to everyone being able to experience Nintendo Switch 2.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So, what do you think of their presentation?
I liked how they talked about it. They gave you the features, and then they spent, again, a lot of the time talking about games and stuff that are coming over to help build the hype instead of going into all the technical details that would put me to sleep.
Yeah. What is, from this presentation, your favorite thing about it?
I like the bigger screen.
I like the bigger screen.
For the Nintendo 2, I like the bigger screen. I like how they fixed some of the problems that have come up with this original Switch. And granted, they've been working on a lot of these upgrades with like the OLED, and there was not a Switch 2, but a second generation Switch, and they fixed a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did.
Go on.
Ahead. Oh, I love the backwards compatibility that they're adding with the equipment.
Yes.
As much as they could, like the dock's not going to work, so you can't use that. But I could still use the Joy-Cons I have if I have someone else come over. I don't have to go buy more Joy-Cons.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing from the whole presentation is game share.
Yes.
I think that is by far my favorite item. It is Nintendo going, hey, we know not everybody always buys each of our games, but there will be a select list that you can share with your friends and just jump on and play, which is fantastic. That is great. We need more of that.
Yes. A good example is Mario Party. I've never bought a Mario Party game because someone else always has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'd be nice. I just bring my Switch. I can play on my own screen. I don't have to. We aren't crowded around either. If we're traveling somewhere, it's not just the little one. I can actually see more what's going on.
Well, like not even that though, but again, especially once you were to upgrade to your second, which of course will be sometime later, either this year or next year.
I'm planning to do it. So I won't be able to afford getting the Switch right when it comes out. I have other things I have to pay off. But before our cruise in November, probably get it.
Yeah, but like even like once all that comes out, and I don't think, from everything that we're hearing so far, I don't think the current Mario Party will get the update to be shareable. I hope it does, but we don't know. We will find out later on. But if not, like the next one, I could easily see like myself buying it. By that point, you'll probably have a console.
Yeah.
And hey, I just feel like just playing Mario Party and tell you and Jordan, everybody jumps on, just share it over, and boom, we jump in and play. It's a four-player game.
Think about and play. That happens quite a bit.
Yeah. I did pull up this guy. So this is the compatibility list. Do Games that cannot be played straightforward on Nintendo Switch 2 is Nintendo Labo Toy-Con VR kit.
Okay.
The console cannot do it. The screen is too big for the headset.
That's fair.
Games with compatibility issues on Nintendo Switch 2. Let's see. So all of these are currently issues. I'm just going to scroll through it because there's several pages.
Yeah.
But as it put it, these issues are currently being investigated, which means they're working on a patch to get it compatible over, which I'm totally good with.
So far, the only game you can't play is Labo.
Yeah, Labo is for fact a no. These are potentially no. Like Doom Eternal. I don't know why Doom Eternal has an issue. It may be that their time clock in the game is reliant on the frame counter, and going to a higher power console is messing with the frame counter.
Anything else you recognize? Just scrolling through there.
Let me just do a slower scroll
because I can't really read it. It's a little small on my screen.
There's a Batman game, but I don't think that messes with either of us. A Darksiders. Fortnite, but it says straightforward a Switch 2 version is planned, so they're not going to port it. I would rather them bring a Switch 2 version that's actually compatible with it.
That's valid. There's a workaround in place.
Mm-hmm. Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection. NBA 2K18 and 25.
But they just said they're bringing in a new.
Yeah, and again, they're working on these fixes, so a lot of this will probably be fixed by the point. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Is that game even still? Does anybody even play it anymore?
I never played. I played it on my phone. That's about it.
The Battle for Neighborville was the third person shooter, which was fun. It was interesting, but it was a gimmick game and it didn't last long. Rocket League, which I'm surprised by. South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Star Wars Episode 1 Racers. Star Wars Dark Forces. The Jackbox Party Packs.
Okay.
Which that one I would have absolutely no problem. Again, the only thing I think of is maybe the second counters is relying on the frame counter, and that's screwing it up. I don't know why it would have problems. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Again, that'd be the same reason there. Extreme Sports, World of Tanks, Warframe, and I cannot read these ones, so I couldn't tell you.
George. You don't need to.
Yeah.
But again, for how many games there are and only having 7 pages, that's not bad.
Well, so there's also this list. So this is Nintendo Switch games that start up on the Switch 2, but includes some in-game compatibility issues at the moment.
And it's 3 pages long.
This one's 3 pages long.
You recognize?
Let's see. We got Fall Guys here.
Okay.
We've got Hot Wheels Unleashed, Just Dance 2019, Mega Man Legacy Collection, Saints Row the 4th, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary, and then a couple other games that are not, well, we can bring them over here, but they're not normally here.
Yeah, so 10 pages of games that are having issues that they're trying to figure out.
Yeah, because there's only one game we've seen that the issue is not being investigated in, and that was Fortnite. And Fortnite's already said they're just going to make a whole new version for it anyways.
Yeah.
Games that require Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, so this would be going back to the original Joy-Cons, but still apparently still can be played because I heard that this was not going over. So Ring Fit Adventure is coming forward.
You just need the old controller.
Yep. The Nintendo Labo Toy-Con for the robot kit is coming over. Why is 1-2 Switch being used again? We could have left that in the past.
These are just the ones you need the old controller for.
Yes. But we could have compatibility issues with the 1-2 Switch. We can leave that in the past. I think I'm one of the 20 people that bought it. Like, Game Builder Garage, never played it. Brain Training. Joy-Con 2 controllers don't include an IR motion camera, and it needs the motion camera for the game. That's why. Nintendo Switch Sports. Joy-Con 2 controllers do not fit in the leg strap. So It's only possible to play football shootout mode using Nintendo Joy-Con. So as long as you're playing just like
all but the soccer one you need.
Yeah.
The soccer one you just need the old controller.
Yep. MarioWare Move It. That's the IR motion.
Some
Nintendo
more
Labo
Labos.
Toy-Con. It's probably sizing. Yeah, it's the placements. And Toy-Con 2. So like all of Labo besides VR is being brought over. Everybody 1-2 Switch. Apparently there was a sequel to 1-2 Switch.
Wow.
And then how to charge the old Joy-Cons. It's explaining because you won't have your console unless you're like me, this is how you'd go back and charge them.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of compatibility, a couple issues that they're working on.
Yeah. So these are accessories. You're still with me. Cool. The Joy-Con controllers are compatible. You just cannot enter sleep mode on the Nintendo Switch 2 using the home button on the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers. Again, your old ones used for your friend, use the regular ones on your console.
Fair.
And again, you cannot charge the old ones on the console.
Yes.
The Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System controller, the N64 controller, and the Sega Mega Drive controller pad all can be used. You just cannot enter sleep mode.
Okay.
And these can be charged via USB cable.
Nice.
That controller is already up above, but cool. The Nintendo Switch stylus is compatible. Congrats, your stylus can still go forward.
There's a stylus?
You could buy a third-party stylus. I don't know why.
Fascinating.
But yes. Now, not compatible is the Nintendo Switch adjustable charging stand. It's a different controller hookup. Nintendo Switch dock. That doesn't fit. Nintendo Switch AC adapter. The old adapters do not give enough power out. So for you, when you go ahead and eventually get yours, you do need to switch your power cables.
Okay.
Which is the same for me. Like I would have just tried to reuse the same power cable, but I'm glad I wrote this right now. The high-speed HDMI cable included with Nintendo Switch is not compatible. It is not high enough speed, which we've known that. The old micro SD cards are not compatible. Nintendo GameCube controller adapter is compatible, which is surprising. And then the Joy-Con strap, the Joy-Con grip, the Joy-Con charging grip, the Joy-Con wheel, the leg strap, the Ring-Con, and the Joy-Con AA battery pack are all not compatible with the Joy-Con 2 controllers. But they are compatible with the Joy-Con controllers.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So, going back to this guy, the status of compatibility test for Nintendo Switch games. Of the Nintendo games, there were 122. So, almost all Nintendo games, so first-party games, have no issues. There is a little line of not compatible that I believe is just straightforward Labo. The partner games, over 15,000 of them, just under 80% of them are fully compatible, no problem. Pretty much
over 20% is compatible, no problems.
Just over, yeah. I said that backwards. Almost 75-ish, 74-ish% is game can be launched. Further tests are still in progress, which means they may not have tested the game yet. It may actually work.
Mm-hmm. They just haven't made it that far.
They haven't made it that far. Number 3, so this is like 1 or 2% down here. Game is playable with issues in certain parts of the games. And that's the list we went through.
That sounds like the sports.
Yeah. And then blue, well, sports would be over here somewhere, but apparently they're not counting that. And then the last little bit, again, 1 or 2%. Hello, Robert Sprite. Meet Jamie. This is my buddy. He's down there. The last one is this little orange one. Again, 1 or 2%. Issues were found during startup. So again, they're working on patches and such.
Okay.
Again, they're just, as they're putting it, they are pretty much trying to make their entire library compatible. Yep, we are discussing the Switch. We're discussing problems with it, the updates to it. I plan on, as soon as pre-orders go live, whenever that's going to be, I plan on pre-ordering it, and day one, maybe I'll stream opening it and plugging it up and trying it. I won't be able to stream through StreamYard. That would have to be a PC stream so I can plug up the console. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. The Nintendo Switch is going down under. The biggest problem people are having right now is when we're talking about pricing of some of the items. And we were just about to actually get into that whole topic. The biggest thing is people are not necessarily happy about the $80 games, and they're not all $80. It's just, as of looking just a little bit ago, there are a few games that are $80, some of which are you're buying $60 and then the $20 DLC. Mario Kart is the only one I've seen so far that is straight out of the box an $80 game. I personally don't see a problem with it if there's only a few games coming out that way. If Nintendo was trying to push, which I will show here in a minute, all of their games to $80, then I would be a little frustrated. But select games or games that are coming with their DLC at $80 to me is understandable.
Yeah. I've spent more in games.
I mean, the $70 games, that's just following right there with Sony's PS5 pricing. That's staying right in line with that. The $60 games is back where it was, and there's games that are even cheaper. So since we're talking all that, let's just look into that. So this is over at GameStop. So like I said, Mario Kart is $80. That is straightforward. What that is, that's what they said it was going to be. We do not have pricing for everything. So whatever we don't have, like Dusk Bloods, we're going to skip. We know, I believe we know, on Pokemon Legends, I think we know what the price is on the Nintendo Switch. Paste. We do not. Even the base price has yet to be announced, so we don't even know on that one yet. But Donkey Kong Bonanza coming in at $70. I think that's a little high, personally, when we look at the gameplay. I would be more.
That's their base game price.
That is what more their base pricing is going to be.
It's high, but you get a lot more with games than you used to, anyways.
Yeah. Metroid Beyond, I wish we knew what that pricing is, because I think that's going to be an $80 game. Straightforward. It looks fantastic, though. But Bravely Default is coming in at $40, which is nice. Now, difference between this game and this game, Mario Kart as far as it looks like here on the case, is straightforward. The game is on the cartridge. Bravely Default is a game key card. This is a new thing that you're doing this time. So opposed to when you would go to like GameStop and buy the Kingdom Hearts game, and all it was just a key code to get access to it. They are now doing game key cards instead.
Is that basically where you need the cartridge in the game to play it, or in the console?
You put the cartridge in the game, and it activates your key code card for your license, and it downloads the game. And it uses the key. I believe you're going to have it in your console in order to play the game. We haven't heard for fact, but the key card games is straightforward, a license code in a physical manner. I'm all over the place with these because I like the idea that, okay, way back when mom and dad one Christmas bought me, there was a game I wanted digitally for, I want to say my 360.
Okay.
And so at the time, the only way to do that is they went to the store, they bought me my game as a digital game, and all you get was your very long receipt, and they wrapped the receipt. Like, mind you, I thought it was hilarious that they wrapped the receipt, but at that time I was still collecting games themselves and game cases. So this would have been a nice way of being that middle ground.
Yeah.
On top of that, I've also had a different time where I bought a game. I gave the receipt to Senior when we were because we were running a couple more errands, and so I was loading up my truck, and he lost the receipt. Luckily, there was a way from GameStop to go back and find the download code, but that was a potentially lost code. That being said, if you're going to have to put these game cards into the console every time to use them, you have another room of risk of losing something. I don't know. I'm back and forth. I like the idea that I'm not going to have to sit down and type in a full code.
I like the concept. I don't know how the execution is going to work.
Like, I would almost rather have a way, and maybe it's because of the space. So apparently it's an 11 gig game that you would have to download. Maybe there's not an 11 gig card, but I think there is. I think even the cards I have are like 15 gigs. I would almost rather the $40 option be just a digital option, and then them give you the option for like $50 to buy the actual game on the card.
The other thing, going back to like, you can buy the cards for like a digital purchase. There's ways to cheat and get those, and then you bought a bad code that's already been.
Yeah, and that's what I like about these being the physical games as the key code, is there's not going to be a way to steal that. And I think that's kind of what Nintendo's trying to do.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's a back and forth.
I like the concept again. Don't know about the execution.
I want to know more of Project 007. But like Street Fighter 6 years 1 and 2, this is a game key card. But this was a 50 gig game. Like, this thing's huge.
Yeah, and it's $60.
And it's $60. My question, let's do this. It is a Switch 2 only game. What if we go like this? So the deluxe edition on Series X was $85. Or the Ultimate Edition is $105. So I really don't know what all is on and included in it.
The world may never know.
Well, I mean, if you're going to spend the money to buy it. But again, these are our other 80s, but that's because you're paying the $60 for the game and then the $20 for the expansion pass.
Yeah.
Because these are all already out as their standard editions.
Breath of the Wild 70 instead of 80.
And I think that's just because Breath of the Wild itself, because of how old it is, I think its price is already down. Yeah, it's at 45.
Okay.
So it's just they're not ripping you off on it.
Respect for that.
Exactly, because Tears of the Kingdom I think is still. Yeah, it's still a full $60 game. So, we also got accessories. We'll open up into the micro cards real quick. So for 1 terabyte, this is the biggest one that I've seen so far. Is $150. That's for a terabyte SD card. That's actually not super bad.
It's not atrocious.
It is higher than the normal ones are. Let me see.
But it's the faster version too, so.
Correct.
How much for a smaller one?
Well, actually, hold on. So a SanDisk Extreme Plus over at Best Buy, 1 terabyte, is $140. So it's about $10 difference for the Nintendo branding. That is already compatible over. And I believe it's a slower card also. So it may not be even compatible. Features, no, specs. Specs. Yeah, because that's only the 200 read speed and not the 8. So, you know what? For $10 extra for a full terabyte card, and that's actually fully compatible, I'm actually okay with that.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. The cheapest is the 256, which would double your full memory of the console, which is $50.
Not bad.
And then 512 is $84. Personally, I'm always of the opinion, if you're going to spend the money to buy the SD card, which you should, bite the bullet, buy a terabyte. If you can find a 2 terabyte, buy the 2 terabyte, but this is the only one up to what is currently compatible that I've found so far.
Also, you can wait a week or two before you get it if you need to.
Yeah, you don't. I'm one that I know there's so many games that are ready to download on day one, so I'll go through and I'll buy it. But the 256 gig, as long as you're not putting on there right away Cyberpunk, and Street Fighters, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2 hype is hype. Yes, it is. Depot or Hyper Saiyan. Welcome to the chat. I am super stoked. Going back over here though. Screen protector, $15. That's standard. The specs are amazing. I actually agree. I think the specs. I didn't bring it downstairs. I have the Steam Deck upstairs, and I'm super stoked for the updates of that the Switch 2 compared to my Steam Deck. I still love my Steam Deck. It's just it'll be nice to have another powerful handheld to go with my other handhelds and consoles. I do like that the new Switch 2 Pro Controller is coming out at the same price of the last Pro Controllers.
Yes.
And again, my biggest favorite thing of it is my entire play set of Pro Controllers is compatible and coming over. Agreed. I'm getting mine at launch too. Jamie's got to finish paying for our trip we have in November, and then he's going to go ahead and get his. The deluxe all-in-one carrying case, I legit think this is the exact same case that I already have. Supposedly it's compatible. Yeah, they just threw on their Switch 2. I really doubt the Switch 2 is actually going to fit in this thing. I think this is the exact one I have. I think they're just trying to finish selling them out. This is what I'm like, why? Apparently, this is
if you're traveling, you don't want to bring the dock, maybe?
I mean, maybe. But I'm one of the ones if I'm traveling and want to dock it or want to put it on a TV, normally I bring the dock anyways. Like it's not that big of a deal to carry the dock with me, and it gives me a charging stand.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's GameStop being GameStop and just trying to sell you more items. A new Joy-Con charging grip for $25, which is actually kind of nice. I won't buy it because I hate this controller layout, but
it's too small.
Well, remember, with the bigger screen, these are going to be bigger Joy-Cons too.
Yeah.
So they probably will fit better in my hands. These are the charging docks I like.
Yeah.
I just don't plan on buying a bunch of Joy-Con 2s.
That's fair.
New wheels for $17. The Nintendo Switch 2 camera for $50. It's a webcam. If it was at least half decent webcam, I could see it more. But the video quality we've seen so far does not impress me super much for a webcam.
So I have to make fun of the next item. The game cartridge case. The game cartridges are the same size.
Yep. But this is the Switch 2 edition. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have at least made it red or something to go along with the red game case look. You can get the grip packs. Make it feel like you have an actual controller in your hand. Woohoo!
But you do have an actual controller in your hand.
The thumb grips. If you're one that you like them, I always get them and I'll put them on for a little bit, then I take them off. This is what I'm curious about, and unfortunately, we don't get a good look at it. But this is the official carrying case for it, for all your devices. Like this one looks nice.
Yes, it does,
and it looks clean. Though $80 for a carrying case is a little steep, in my opinion.
Yes.
Some new amiibos. Turtle Beach headsets. Let's see what else we got. Anything else kind of cool and interesting?
What's the carrying case on the top left?
It is the official one from Nintendo. I like the look of the zippers.
I do too.
And then it comes with the screen protector from Nintendo.
That's not bad for
$35 for your regular protection. That's not bad. Like I'm all for that.
A case and a screen protector. That's not bad at all.
I mean, I'm going to be spending more than $35, and I already know that. But we're going to talk about that next. We're not to that point yet. The new Joy-Cons, $90. That's right where. I mean, I think Joy-Cons currently are $80, so I think it's $10 more. But these are
80 or 85, but they're bigger.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think the rest of this is just generic
Switch stuff.
Yeah, if I see some. Oh, you can get the straps. $12.
I'm good.
Actually, what people have been saying though, I mean, of course we get the straps anyways. If you're playing in mouse mode, these are nice because the black pads on the sides is actually the mouse feet. So it actually slides better when you're in mouse mode with them on.
That's fair.
So I get it a bit more. Again, you already get them, so I guess if you need a backup pair. $50 for just the individual controllers on their own.
I like the Buzz Lightyear one.
So I saw that earlier, and I figured you'd mention it. It's actually for one of the CandyCon controllers. So it's actually a faceplate.
Fascinating.
Right? I was like, wait, I've never seen this before. So you can choose where you put each of the joysticks on it, and then it just snaps onto place.
That's a cool concept.
I really doubt the controller's good.
I'd agree with that. Cool concept. I like the fact you can like get different ones and you aren't having to buy like a new controller.
I'm sorry, I had to on that one. Go on.
Yes, but I like the fact that if it's probably not, but if it is a decent controller, you aren't having to buy a new controller every single time. You can just switch the faceplate out, basically.
Yeah, like this photo alone tells me these are probably not very good controllers since they could not even Photoshop the D-pad into the right spot.
You aren't wrong. George, it's just an elevated D-pad.
Like
the
Buzz Lightyear one at least looks good. Like this doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. That's why they only showed the Buzz Lightyear one.
Yeah.
Because that's the one they spent time on.
The Woody's not bad. It's not as good as the Buzz Lightyear, but it's not bad. What else we got? We got a Nightmare. I think they legitimately just stole these off of like Google. Like, okay, so Jack and Sally and Lock, Stock, and Barrel down here look animated, okay? You see it?
Uh-huh.
That's a toy of Oogie. That is not even a like drawing of him. That is straightforward a plastic toy.
Yeah.
Like, what company is this? This is CandyCon? Like, who are you? That was a rabbit hole I was not expecting us to go down.
We did, though.
We did. We made it to the bottom also.
What's the purple thing on the right?
Purple thing on the right.
There's two, so the one on the right. Yeah, that.
That's another one of the CandyCon faceplates.
Okay.
So that's a regular $10 one. That's one of the... Okay.
Just go in and type in CandyCon controller.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's see whatever is this last page. There was like one item there. Power 8. Okay. CandyCon Switch controller. There it is. The base of it is $35. At this point, I'm really tempted to go buy one of these to see how god-awful it is.
The important question is, what faceplate are you going to get?
I don't know what is available in my local store area, so I don't have to go ahead. Well, I don't know. Actually, maybe I want to have it delivered that way. I don't have to go into the store and ask to be given this controller set. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I had to go this way so I don't, dox myself on the internet. Oh, apparently there's a white version of the base also. We're gonna put this over here.
But like,
my store's still open for 20 minutes. I can go over there right now to get it. Oh god, they actually do have some in ready for pickup.
Wow.
They have the Buzz Lightyear one in ready for pickup apparently.
But like, if it's a good controller, the concept's there. I don't think it's going to be a good controller.
No. Supposedly it has Bluetooth 5.0 with lag-free connectivity up to 25 feet. That is not a true statement at all. 10 hours battery life. Sure, maybe. Dual rumble with 3 levels of vibration. Triggers take your gameplay to the next level with precision, lineal triggers, turbo options, and a 2-time programmable back button with gyroscopic motion also. Note, the CandyCon controllers are compatible with Switch and the PC. Oh, this is going to be garbage.
Yeah.
Is the white one at least available in store? No, I'd have to order the white one. The
But you
one
can
that
get
would
a full
actually look
volume.
better with the Buzz Lightyear skin. Maybe I'll torture myself tomorrow. Maybe we'll go pick this up, and maybe I'll do a stream of. There's only 2 of these left at Citrus Plaza, the Buzz Lightyear ones. So my question is there only 2 left, or did they only ever get 2 and they've just sat there?
You could ask.
Again, I don't want to have to ask to buy this thing. They're gonna look at me and go, "What is wrong with you?" We're talking $63 for that video because I'm not buying the replacement plan because this thing's gonna be garbage. I don't need to be replaced it for $8 in a year. Maybe we're gonna do that. We'll see. We'll come back to that concept of the thought. But don't tell that to Ad. Show this tab. D-Brand has come out with, or has on pre-order ready, the Switch 2 Kill Switch. If you have a Steam Deck, you probably have a Kill Switch. They're fantastic. I love mine. Mine's nice. My problem is, I wish, like the regular ones, it was coming with skins for the Joy-Cons. However, we don't know what the full package is yet, so they may have the skins for the Joy-Cons by that point. Because that is my biggest complaint about the Joy-Cons is I don't like the fact that they're so basic with being black.
I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing they did with the Switch and come out with more colors.
Eventually, they will.
I actually like the black.
The black is slick. Don't get me wrong. I would prefer mine to be flashier. Again, I've got this guy that is gold, green, and white. Like these things are flashy and bright.
I agree with that. I think that's something that we might get, but they just haven't come out with it yet.
Yeah. So
it's not like it's hard to do.
So these are all coming out in June, which is great because it's supposed to be pretty much right when the console launches. The full Kill Switch case, which is thicker, plus it adds grips to the Joy-Cons, which makes them more comfortable to hold. The case will be detachable, so the Joy-Cons still can go ahead and do their normal work. But go over. Thank you. Look at the grips though.
That does look a whole lot better.
Like that, if you got fat hands like I do, you can actually hold the thing.
I like how they add a dock adapter so you don't have to take it out of the case.
Yeah. So I'm back and forth with this. I like the dock adapter. So again, just like you said, however, well, hold on. So a custom dock built adapter that preserves the OEM cooling. Okay. So however they're doing the cooling of the dock itself for the console is being translated over to.
I was just going to say, but you would lose that cooling feature they talked so much about.
That was what I was worried about. Unless, again, D-Brand probably already has one in house. That's probably where they designed all this at. I'm wondering if it's one of those things that the cooling is just out of the dock anyways, because normally an outside external cooler for a console doesn't work. So maybe a lot of the processing power for the higher process is actually on a subboard back here anyways on the dock itself. And so the cooling only matters to that subboard. I don't know. We'll take a look at it when we get it. Because again, I already have my pre-order in for the Kill Switch case. I can't pre-order my console, but I pre-ordered this. What?
Do you know how much it's going to be?
All I know is in order to pre-order it, you have to put $3 down and you have to keep the key code that comes with it because that gets you front of the line access.
Okay.
It is fully compatible with the kickstand because it looks like it's a secondary piece of plastic that's going to go right over it to keep everything nice and safe. Then a nice clear travel cover to protect the Joy-Cons. And the screen. So legitimately, I'll just throw this in my LTT backpack when we're traveling and be totally fine. Game card holder that actually slips right inside of the case that holds 10 games. And as they put it, it also then becomes a little collection display of your games right there on the front of your console. Which, again, you and I were already talking that digital is more the way we're going to go anyways, but still a nice option.
Yes.
And then this one comes with the thick grips. These are the grips I normally will use, but I'll probably put them on when I first get it, and then probably after a couple months, I'll probably take them off and ditch them. I'm never super big into the grips.
I've never liked grips like that.
Yeah. But overall, your thoughts of the Switch, consoles, casing, travel?
Honestly, I've been looking at upgrading my Switch for a while. I think I have like the second generation, like a year or two before they came out with the OLED.
Yeah, because I think what I came up there with my OLED, I think you asked me if you should upgrade it. And I was like back and forth because we knew a Switch 2 was eventually coming.
Yeah.
And you had said that you play your Switch, but you don't play it often.
Yes.
Sorry.
So I hadn't upgraded, so I'm glad about that. So, but again, I'm not going to be first in line or anything like that, but I will eventually get it.
Now, again, as I put it, at least this Switch, I'm not getting rid of. Do you think you would trade your Switch in towards it, or do you think you would keep it as a secondary screen/controller?
So, if I did turn it in, I bought some. I put it on the two controllers that I don't use.
Yeah.
And turn it in that way, and it wouldn't be original. I got play with the left one that's blue, and then I got a green one for the right side.
Okay.
And that's I love that color combination. It works for me. And I'd turn in both pink ones they're different shades of pink, and I'd do that if I did. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because of how small the Switch is, I'm okay holding it. Again, you also know what updates are coming to the studio, ideally next year, as long as everything goes according to plan. Yeah. So you know there's already a plan for my Switch. But again, I have two more Switches that are in a bag, and they'll probably just be kept. So like if you come down the hill and we're wanting to play Mario Kart or whatnot, I can just pass you one and you just jump on if you don't have yours.
The one thing I might do is try and do other things with it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm going to do, I don't know, because I don't know enough about these things.
No, I get you. There's certain things we don't need to talk about, at least publicly. If you know, you know. Never anything wrong, though. Just gray. I just saw your private message. No, I think people are blowing too much of this out of the water. One thing I did want to touch in on, and this is kind of getting a little political, but not being politics. We don't discuss politics. We don't lean one way or another when we're discussing.
We don't share our political views, but sometimes political plays in with the pop culture, and we're just talking about it.
And in this case, it is partly in. We do know, again, when announced, the Switch 2 was $450 and the bundle was $500. Pre-orders were supposed to go live on Wednesday. However, they have been temporarily paused while Nintendo is reassessing everything doing with the tariffs. Initially, I thought the price was going to come up, which, if so, I was still going to buy the console. That's what didn't affect my decision at all. However, years ago, when other things were happening with tariffs, a lot of the manufacturing was actually shipped to, I want to say it was Vietnam. And according to the current president, if this is true or not, who knows? We won't know until actually something happens of it. Supposedly, they have already gone ahead and reached out and trying to get rid of tariffs against them, have reached out to tell the United States that they're going to drop their tariffs as long as a deal is made. And if that's the case, the price should not change on the Switch. If anything, maybe come down a little bit, just depending on whatever they do. I doubt they're going to bring the price down. They're probably already losing money on the console as it is. Most companies lose money on game consoles. I do know they don't mention it during this. However, NVIDIA, who is making the graphics card for the Switch 2, I think they're also doing the processor, has come out and said that the Switch 2 is utilizing DDLS and AI upscaling. So that's how they're able to achieve the 4K footage. So
You might see some funky things.
what?
You might see some funky things. They're using AI upscaling.
Yes, it's been pretty reliable on the 60 series cards that are currently out. I think it's 60 series, 50 series, 50 series. It might be 50. What it is the AI is going to be paying attention to what you're doing and what is potentially coming up next, and it's predicting the frames it needs.
Yeah.
So that way it can get you your higher frame rate and your clearer picture. Personally, I've yet to see it in person. Everything I've seen though online looks like it works pretty well. And again, everybody who's been at the launch event in New York say that it looks really, really good. Like this is a very solid console. So I'm excited. I'm not going to let the hate pull me down on it. Again, I already pre-ordered my carrying case for my console. I can't order the console yet, but I can order my grip for it. Like that's how confident I am that I'm buying this thing. I'm already ready for it. If it comes up in price, it comes up in price. It's still somebody looked at it with inflation and inflation looking at it. The Super NES is still more expensive than this console is.
Really?
If you look at inflation compared to when it came out, that one, or this may have been $50 more. It was like right there. So I'm like, oh,
that's not bad.
It's really not bad when you're really considering it. Yes, this is a price increase from the Switch. This is also a lot more powerhouse of a console than the Switch. And the Switch, because they had to make this thing strong, because now this thing is competing against, again, the Steam Deck and the other handheld PC consoles that are out. So, any last minute thoughts, statements, concerns?
I'm excited for it. It seems like they fixed a lot of problems that I've noticed or had, or other people have talked about with the Switch. Obviously, there's still going to be issues and everything else. Everything has issues, but it feels like I feel like they're starting to address, and they have been addressing people's concerns and issues with it.
A quick question.
Okay.
Is stick drift going to be an issue with these Joy-Cons?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I kind of understand what happens to cause stick drift.
Yeah.
I think anything can eventually get stick drift. I've never had a console controller have as much issues as I've had with the Switch, though.
I think just because they're keeping to the same form factor, which I think they need to. Like, this thing is so small compared to my Steam Deck. Yes, it's going to be bigger now because it's a bigger screen. But again, the width, I do like how skinny it is and how light it is. But I think at the end of the day, since we're still staying within that width for your controller, even though we're getting bigger joysticks on it, I think it's still going to have an issue with stick drift. I think it's going to wear down too much still.
If they use with a bigger stick, if they're using bigger whatever it is that helps control and what leads to the stick drift, if they're using the exact same ones, they're going to have more issues.
Yeah.
If they've upgraded it, it might be the same or it could be less.
I mean, I'm assuming Nintendo has gone ahead and been putting these things through the rigorous testing and spent time, just running circles over and over again on these things. Hopefully, whatever they've learned from the first generation to these ones, they've implemented, and hopefully they've learned more even since these ones have gone forward. Like this one has no problems. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this Switch. It's why it's usually on my desk and not in its stock and such, because I protect this thing.
Yeah.
But I would hate to see at the end of the first year, because that's when my first set of Joy-Cons had stick drift. I would hate it to be again one of those things after the first year, because that's just gonna, especially with the higher price, that's gonna leave a foul taste to a lot of Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
Personally, if it happens, it happens in my opinion, but I'm hoping they did their testing. I'm hoping they actually checked it all out.
Improved. I'm not going to say you're going to completely get rid of it, because it can happen to any controller.
Yes.
But
like you said, I hope it's improved. I hope they've taken time to make it as strong and sturdy as possible.
Absolutely.
Again, if it only lasts a year, it means they didn't look at it. But
if it lasts
I mean,
less,
these
they
ones
use
just
the
last.
wrong part.
What?
If it lasts less than that, something's really wrong.
Yeah. Hopefully, with all this new power and such they are doing, we don't have another Red Ring of Death issue like the Xbox 360 had. I only went through 8 Xboxes with that.
Nice.
Sure.
High score.
Yeah, it was a high score. I mean, I guess the good thing is I got so proficient with their website and forums that I could do it in like a minute and a half. But it really would. So, a side story, real quick. My initial 360 we had that did Red Ring. At that time, we only had one 360, and I was supposed to be jumping online with some buddies to play like Halo.
Uh-huh.
So I was so mad because I get home. That's the case. Luckily, the Red Ring of Death already was a full issue, so they had already updated their policies. So before, like, I had mailed mine out on like Monday, and like Tuesday, my new console had shown up because they weren't even waiting for consoles at that point. They were just like, send it in, we'll send you a new one.
Wow.
Because there was no, they already knew at that point there was no fix.
Okay.
And then like a month later, that one died. Luckily, by that point, we'd expanded to 2 because we had enough people coming to the house. So I'm like, fine, at least I can go to a different console. That one died that afternoon. I was so mad. But I legitimately went through 8 360s because we were making sure, again, Microsoft was warning everybody, don't try to do any of these at-home remedy fixes. They don't work. They may void your warranty. Like, we were not doing any of that stuff. We had actually, we'll say that story for a different time. That'll be for you and I to chat about. But you made this part of the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. This is going to be problem. Comment if you are going to get the Switch, or if you're going to go ahead and be mad at the Switch because of the current pricing and such.
And we aren't talking about if you're just going to get it on release day. It can be like me. We're going to get it a little bit later.
Yeah. If you are planning on getting the Switch,
or on the fence about it, just should I wait a little bit? We want to know your thoughts.
Yeah. You know mine. You know Jamie's. We're both hyped. Again, I'm wearing a full-on Zelda shirt today. Justin is getting one. He does not know when. Again, he's paying for a wedding here right now, so we all have things that are in life and going forward. I think I'm out of our entire group. Maybe Parker.
Maybe
Parker. I think I'm out of our entire group, though. The only one for fact getting it. Because even Jordan said that he'd get it eventually, but he doesn't know when.
That's fair.
We'll get it. Again, we're going to do an unboxing stream when it comes out, which is June 6th. We'll do it at the big PC, not the laptop, where we'll be able to plug it up to the computer, and whatever we can show that does not dox myself, we'll show. And we'll get Mario Kart down on it, and we'll try that out. And
sounds like fun.
I mean, if other people are around, be it online or whatnot, we'll get some Fortnite on there and speed test that against a PS5 or an Xbox Series X version. Because I really doubt it's going to hold up to that, but it will be docked, so technically it should be able to do the 4K 60.
Hopefully. We'll
see. Only one way to find out. I know the only video footage that supposedly people have caught of it so far, which I don't know where they caught it, it was showing PlayStation controllers. So, be it they actually showed it or not, I don't know. It could also be people just trying to cause hate on the internet at the moment. But like, subscribe, and follow along. Join us on Tuesday. I remember the housekeeping stuff that I'm not going to get yelled at by Justin for. Join us on Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the Pop Culture Jungle, the weekly edition, where we go through whatever articles, news, and pieces we can think of. If Jamie's around, we do have some Olympic news.
I'm going to try and be there. Life happens.
You're going to try to be there. I know. I screwed you up this last week because we were going and filming the Season of the Force. But Jamie is our resident museum curator. So when it comes to Olympic stuff, what?
Collections manager, not curator.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same. Am I wrong?
There's differences, but they're close.
Okay. So when it comes to the Olympic stuff, we do hold that off for him because he knows a whole lot more about it than I do.
I work at a museum that has Olympic stuff, so I work with it daily.
Yeah, he's handled gold medals and dinosaur bones.
Not at the same museum, but yes.
Not at the same museum. I'm still jealous of, like, when you said the gold medals, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm jealous of the dinosaur bones, if I'm to be honest with you.
You know, that's fair.
And then join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m.-ish, where we will be doing the review of whatever episode Daredevil we're up to. I think it's 8. I think we have 2 weeks left. We will be talking... Justin doesn't know this yet. We will be talking on Tuesday, though, about our reviews of the 2 episodes of One Piece that came out this weekend. Because I'm stoked and I want to talk about One Piece.
I might be caught up by then.
You might be caught up by then. But that will be on Tuesday's show. Wednesday's show will be Daredevil. And then after Daredevil, because I think that's when the shows switch, we'll be doing Andor Season 2.
I still need to watch Andor Season 1.
Same. I've got to sit down and binge all 12 hours of content of that. So that's going to be a fun day, and I don't ever have time for anything, so we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll go make a big bowl of popcorn and do that. However, I do kind of want to play Fortnite this week too. What was that?
After you get that controller.
Oh yes, after we get if we get the controller. I looked at it. It's in the cart. That'd be a $63 video for a controller I know is going to be garbage. But it would be funny.
Comment if we should do it.
Yes, if this video, because I know a lot of the overseas crowds will watch this overnight. If this video we'll go simple. Even 5 comments saying to go buy the cruddy CandyCon controller. We will go buy a cruddy CandyCon controller and see if this thing is even worth it, and if you should buy it for your Switch or Switch 2.
You just have to promise you're going to watch the video.
Eventually, yes. You have to go back and watch the video because we need to watch ours. We are almost, though. We should be by the end of this upcoming week opening up YouTube memberships, as long as all that goes okay with YouTube.
That's awesome.
That's big. We're finally to that point. And then next Saturday, at some time, you never know on the Saturday show, there will be another video. We don't know what it is. We never know what the topic is because that just comes around. Depends on whatever big deal is going on that we think we should spend, in this case, 2.5 hours discussing. This was a long video, but there was a lot in this video. And I might be going to the movies tomorrow, so there might be another movie review on either tomorrow as a separate video or part of Tuesday.
Minecraft.
Any guesses what movie?
Minecraft?
Yes, Minecraft.
Who wants to go see it?
Justin's going to go see it. I should go see it because we review this stuff now. But even more than that, and this is nothing. If you're still sticking around to the rambles, thank you for sticking around through the rambles. But I need to just explain this to you real fast, Jamie. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay.
The domestic daily chart for yesterday. So one day.
Okay.
Snow White did 1.5 million out of 3,750 theaters.
Uh-huh.
She initially was at 4,200, so she's lost some of her theaters. A Minecraft movie, out of her 4,263 theaters, so she's winning more theaters than Snow White, 58 million. hold on. If we take the pre-sale and the first day of sales, it brings it to $58 million. No, that's not correct. It's 68 million. Sorry, 550 because it's not counting the pre-sales yet. So $68,550. It is 4 million away from passing Snow White after 1 day of sales and pre-sales.
That's not good for Snow White.
It's gonna pass it tomorrow. That is so funny. So it makes me want to go see it to see if this thing is at all good. Critically, it is not. Audience-wise, it is.
I think it's just the niche type of movie.
It looks stupid, if I'm to be honest.
I might eventually watch it when it's on a streaming service.
That's what I want to wait for. I don't want to pay money to see this thing.
Just make Justin review it.
Yes, but it's always good to have a second person to bounce off of on it. So critically, the Minecraft movie is sitting at 49%. What?
I said it's split about 50-50.
Yeah. Which is still higher than where Snow White came in at. So, I mean, it shouldn't be worse than that. Oh, I just hit the mic. The popcorn meter is at 87%.
Wow.
How is this movie doing actually somewhat good? So, we may be seeing that tomorrow. I don't know. You'll know by watching whatever video come out. But, like, subscribe. Till next time. See you later.
Bye, guys.